Hello my Enlightened scholars, it's your professor here, the Enlightened Enlisted, and today we received an update for Enlisted that gives us an insight on what we can probably expect next and an indication of two new factions possibly being added to this game. Now, if you guys enjoy Enlisted and you haven't already checked out our Twitch channel, go ahead and check out that link in the description below. We talk all types of history and we'd love to see you there in the chat. With that out of the way, let's get into this update. If you have looked at this update with enlightened eyes, you will see a big push for the Eastern Front as we have several Russian and German divisions being added to this game. First, we have the German 3rd Infantry Division, 3rd Communication Battalion, which saw action historically with Army Group Center and Army Group South. Now, if you're not familiar with this division, it was a part of Operation Typhoon and the Battle of Moscow. But it also saw action in the Battle of Stalingrad, which could honestly be a light confirmation that we will have a Stalingrad campaign soon. This is also a division that had a controversial part of war crimes committed in 1943 and 1944. So, do you guys think that we should have a division added to this game that has a war crime controversy? Let me know in the comments below. We also have the German 6th Infantry Division, which was added with the 6th Anti-Tank Battalion, which has an early war presence in the invasion of Poland and would go on to fight in Russia when it was ultimately destroyed by Soviet forces in Operation Bagration on June 23, 1944. Now, the addition of this division makes sense as we have a new weapons addition of the Panzer 39, which was an anti-tank rifle that fires a shaped charge similar to the Panzerfaust at enemy armor. Now, historically, this was a terrible weapon system prone to jams and malfunctions with the firing of the special blank cartridge that propelled the explosive charge forward. As if we didn't need any more artillery on the battlefield, we have the addition of the 166th Infantry Division of the 195th Comms Battalion for the USSR. Now, this division saw direct action in the defense of Moscow against Army Group Center, and then would later advance into Poland. The division suffered one of the heaviest and worst casualty rates of all Russian divisions in the Battle of Smolensk. We also have an anti-tank squad being added with the 50th Infantry Division of the 49th Infantry Regiment for the USSR. This is a very interesting addition as it can be a confirmation of a winter war campaign with the Finns, as the 50th saw action in the southern half of that campaign. The last Russian division added is the 60th Infantry Division, which will be an engineering squad in game. Now, I hope this is the 60th Mountain Rifle Division, as this would mean we are seeing a shift to the southern part of the Eastern Front, which could mean a Hungarian faction being added later, as the 60th saw extensive fighting against the Hungarian forces of the 8th Army. The 60th Infantry Division would later be destroyed in the early part of the war. Now the Russians are seeing some added firepower in the AVS-36, which is called the ABC-36 in-game. This is the battle rifle designed by one of the fathers of modern assault rifles, Sergei Simonov. It is going to be an awesome addition for the Soviet lineup, as it will basically be the Red Army's version of the G43, but this bad boy is going to be able to fire automatic. Now, when I spoke about the addition of Finland in the game, the AVS-36 reinforces this thesis, as it was used by the Finns in the Winter War, as well as Russian forces in World War II. As if we didn't need any more confirmation of a Finnish campaign, the M28 is being added with this update. Now, the M28 is a Mosin-Nagant variant that was used extensively in the Winter War. It was famously used by our White Death sniper friend, Simo Heiho, who would end up going on to be the deadliest sniper in world history. So if you haven't checked out his story, I highly suggest it. World War II Europe is overplayed, and if you are a keen-eyed viewer and saw the thumbnail, you would notice the Japanese soldier, and that is added to the thumbnail because we have the introduction of the Osaka 38, which was a Japanese rifle that saw a shit ton of usage in the Pacific War of World War II. Could we be going to the tropical island hopping campaigns of World War II? I think so, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and like that video while you're down there. Now, before all you gun nuts go down to the comments and start spamming it, I understand that the 38 was used by the Finns as well in the winter campaign, but let's be honest, they're definitely going to be adding the Japanese at some point, so this is probably a testing for that. That being said, we have a lot to get through here, guys, and I want to get you guys back to the battlefield ASAP, so let's get into the addition of planes and armor with this update. For the Axis armor, we have the Panzer III, which was used in North Africa, but does not necessarily mean that my last video was incorrect about the Tunisia campaign. If you are interested in that video, go ahead and check it out after this one about my predictions for what we can see within that campaign. The Panzer III saw extensive usage in France, Poland, and the USSR as well. This is also just the J variant of the Panzer III, which saw almost exclusive usage on the Eastern Front. Now our Russian comrades get a lackluster addition with the T-50, which was a great light tank for the early part of the war, but when you're having a Panzer III added in this update, it kind of feels like our Russian friends were left out. However, I want you guys to look at this in a positive light, as this does reinforce that winter war thesis, as the T-50 was used by the Finns as well as the Soviets. Now, the aircrafts are premium squad additions with the Bf-109E7 and the Soviet I-16. I will review these squads in a separate video at a later date to see if they're worth your hard-earned cash, so be on the lookout for that. Well guys, what do you think? The Finns and the Japanese confirmed? Yes or no? If you liked today's video, let me know in the comments and smash that like button so others can find this video. While you're down there, hit that subscribe and bell notification. It really helps me out. And also check out our social media links. I am very active on Twitter and our Discord. Until next time though guys, hit those books, hit those bottles, and cheers.